The system-wise review of anatomy and physiology on cardiovascular system. It's presented by Gino Samuel. Good morning, everyone. Let us review about the cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system is responsible for transporting blood, nutrients, gases, and waste throughout the body. It consists of heart, blood vessels, and blood. Its primary function is to maintain homeostasis by ensuring the adequate oxygen and nutrient delivery, as well as it is responsible for the removal of metabolic wastes. The heart, its location is in the thoracic cavity between the lungs. This space is called the mediastinum. The heart located slightly towards the left. The size of the heart is approximately of a human being fist. Layers of heart are endocardium, myocardium, and epicardium. Endocardium is the innermost layer of the heart, and myocardium is the muscular middle part which is responsible for contraction, and epicardium is the outer protective layer of the heart. Here we can see four chambers of the heart. The right atrium, which receives the deoxygenated blood from the body via superior and inferior vena cava. The right ventricle, which pumps the deoxygenated blood from the lungs to the lungs via pulmonary artery. And left atrium, which receives the oxygenated blood from the lungs through the pulmonary veins. And left ventricle pumps the oxygenated blood towards the body through aorta. So left ventricle is the strongest chamber, and which is responsible to pump all ways of our body. And we have some valves which is helping in controlling our flow of blood throughout the body. That are a tricuspid valve, mitral valve, which is in the chambers of the heart. Tricuspid valve located in the right side of the atrium and the right side of the ventricle. Mitral valve is between left atrium and the left ventricle. And some valves which is located in the um, pulmonary artery and aorta. So between pulmonary artery and the lungs, between the pulmonary artery and the right ventricle is the pulmonary valve, and between the left ventricle and the aorta is the aortic valve. The functions of the valve is to prevent and the backflow and ensure one-way blood flow. And the blood vessels, there are different kind of blood vessels: arteries, arterioles, capillaries, venules, and veins. What are the differences? Arteries are the vessels which carries blood away from the heart. Usually it is oxygenated blood, but exception is there for the pulmonary artery. The pulmonary artery which carries the deoxygenated blood from the right ventricle to the lungs for the oxygenation. And arteries have thick elastic walls. Arterioles are the smaller branches of arteries which controls the blood flow into the capillaries, and the capillaries are the microscopic vessels where the gas and nutrient exchange occurs between the blood and tissues. Venules are collected blood from the capillaries and merged into veins. Veins carry blood towards the heart, usually deoxygenated, except for pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins collects blood from the lungs, oxygenated blood from the lungs, and brings to the left atrium, which contains oxygenated blood. Uh, all all the veins have the valves which prevent the backflow to the which prevents the backflow and pooling of blood. So you can see some conditions like varicose veins. Their incompetency of the valves makes the blood pooling, and tortuous vein will happen. So, and what are the components of blood? 55% is plasma. The plasma is called a liquid portion, and it carries nutrients, hormones, and waste. Formed elements, 45%, which are erythrocytes, leukocytes, and platelets and thrombocytes. Let's review on physiology of cardiovascular system. The circulation pathways, pulmonary circulation, the right side of the heart, lungs, and left side of the heart, which these are the components of pulmonary circulation. From the systemic circulation, the blood collects and bring to the right side of the atrium by inferior vena cava and superior vena cava. The right atrium pushes blood to the right ventricle. From there, pulmonary artery, which carries the blood to the lungs for oxygenation. There, the pulmonary circulation. This is the totality of pulmonary circulation. Then let us look at the systemic circulation. The blood, purified blood or the oxygenated blood from the lungs is brought through the pulmonary vein towards the left atrium, and the left atrium during the contraction it pushes towards the left ventricle. Then the left ventricle uh, during the contraction, left ventricle pushes the blood through the aorta towards the other parts of the body. So the oxygen delivery happening due to the contraction through the aorta to the different parts of the body, which is called systemic circulation. So left side of the heart is responsible for the systemic circulation, and the right side of the heart is responsible for the pulmonary circulation. What is cardiac cycle? A systolic and diastolic actions are totally consist of cardiac cycle. Then what is systolic function? Systolic function means contraction phase of the heart, during which the blood is ejected from the ventricles. Diastolic part is the relaxation phase of the heart muscles, during which the blood is refilled in the heart chamber. So one heartbeat is equal to one cardiac cycle. So average of 70 to 75 beats per minute in adult is the normalcy. Till 100, it is considered as in the normal limit. And normal heart sounds are dub and lub. Lub is the closure of atrioventricular valve, and dub is the closure of semilunar valves. Lub is the start of systole, and dub is the end of systole. And the conduction system of the heart. How the heart works. Here you can see two special yellow color marked here in the picture, which is called SA node and the AV node. These 2 points are responsible for the contraction of the heart muscles. This electrical system, which coordinates the heart's muscles to have action potential, I'm sorry. And SA node is the natural pacemaker which initiates the impulse. And when the SA node get activated, the electrical impulses distributes through the atrium. By this time, when the atrium contracts, the AV node gets stimulated. Then AV node supplies the electrical impulse to the bundle of His and through the Purkinje fibers to the left and right ventricles. So the ventricles are activated through the AV node. And bundle of His is the main branch of nerve fiber which distributes along the septal valves and its tributaries or its branches, which is called Purkinje fibers. These Purkinje fibers are distributed along the side of the heart walls. So the action is happening, the electrical conduction is happening during the SA node activate. It goes to the AV node, through the AV node, through the bundle of His, and it spreads through the Purkinje fibers to the whole heart. So this is called the electrical conduction of the heart. What is blood pressure? Everybody knows about the blood pressure, but who knows what is meant by blood pressure? The blood pressure is the pressure exerted by the blood flow to the walls of the blood vessel. The normal blood pressure is 120 by 80, and which is influenced by the cardiac output, blood volume, and the vessel resistance. Most of the time, if the person has atherosclerosis or arteriosclerosis, you can see the blood pressure will be high due to the narrowing of the blood vessels. And the cardiac output means the amount of blood pumped by the heart per minute. Cardiac output is calculated by the heart rate multiplied by the stroke volume. And the heart is regulated by the autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system consists of sympathetic and parasympathetic. If the sympathetic system activates, heart rate increases and the contractility increases. And parasympathetic system, if it activates, it decreases the heart rate. Some hormones also responsible for the regulation of the heart function. Those are epinephrine, norepinephrine, and thyroid hormones affect the heart function. And also some other factors called baroreceptors, which detects the changes in the blood pressure and adjust it accordingly. So this is my reference, and thank you for everyone for listening me, and thank you for the support.